Hi guys, so welcome back to Life of Mandy. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how a year will pass you by either way in terms of achieving your goals, in terms of going after those dreams and those desires that you have. And then towards the end of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the action steps that I take, how I kind of set my own goals to achieve the things that I actually want. So a year will pass you by either way. A year is gonna fly by either way. Just look at the months. Like, we are in May 2024 when I'm filming this video. You might be watching this at a later date, but I feel like it was just Christmas yesterday. The days just go by so quickly. Time is literally flying by. The years are flying by. And the reality is, you guys, is the days are gonna fly by, the months are gonna fly by, the years, weeks, whatever, it's all gonna fly by. And if we constantly stay in this mindset of, I can never achieve the things that I want, I will never get where I wanna go, I could never start that business, I could never grow the YouTube channel, I could never be TikTok famous, whatever it is that you want. I could never be a doctor, I could never be a lawyer, I could never go to college and finish college and graduate with my master's or bachelor. If we constantly stay in that mindset, we're just only hurting our own selves. And everybody goes through that, you guys. Everyone has those thoughts, right? I feel like pretty much everyone can struggle with like imposter syndrome, not feeling like they're worthy, not feeling like they're enough. And I've been there myself as well. I think back to when I grew my social media. So I blew up on TikTok a few years ago and had a YouTube channel. I still have my YouTube channel, a manifestation channel. And I coached people all over the world. Like, I was coaching people nonstop. My coaching business had really taken off. And I remember thinking, wow, how am I going to do this? Before I had all that, I remember thinking, like, where am I going to get the clients? Who's actually going to want to coach with me? I only have 30 followers on Instagram. Nobody knows who I am. My YouTube, I only have 5 subscribers on YouTube. Nobody's going to coach with me. And if I would have stayed in that, if I just would have given in to my circumstances, I wouldn't be where I am today. I would have never coached people all over the world. I would have never had a successful business. I would have never experienced how it felt to make $10,000 in 1 month. Like, when I made that, and I had never made that much money in my life, I was mind blown. But I never would have achieved those things if I would have looked at my circumstances. If I would have said, you know what, I can't do that. I'm not worthy of it. Somebody else can do it. Right? I saw all these other people doing it online. And if I would have been like, oh, they're doing it, I can never do that, and I would have stayed in that, I don't know where I would be today. I probably would have still been wondering, well, what if I just would have taken those steps to achieve my dreams and my goals? And I really understood this concept of the years, the months, the days are gonna go by either way. Whether I take the steps to go after the things that I want or I don't, time's gonna pass me by. And I'm either gonna wonder, oh, what if I just would have took the steps? What if I just would have started a year ago? I'm gonna wonder that, or I'm gonna, you know what? I took the steps, it didn't work out for me, but now I understand, right? And that's the thing, like, we are always left wondering. If we don't go after these things, we're always left wondering, well, what if I would have achieved it? What if I didn't even achieve it? But what would I have learned? What would I have learned starting a business, right? Even me, like, that was my first time starting a business, and now I'm like, oh, I can start another business. I can do this, I can do that. Like, I have so much experience now. And when I started, I didn't know anything. I had to look a lot of things up. I had to take courses. I hired my own coach to kind of help me through different things because I just didn't know. I looked up a lot of YouTube videos. I learned a lot of different things online on how to run a business. And now I'm like, oh, I can start a business. I can do this. I know exactly what I need to do. That's another thing. Like, if we fail, and there was a business that I started back when I was 19 and it failed. But you know what? I learned from that. I learned a lot of personal development, a lot of mindset stuff when I started that. Not necessarily like the behind the scenes business stuff. That came later. But the mindset that I have today, I really do owe it to failing in that business when I was 19 years old. So for me, looking at those experiences that I've had in my life, and maybe there's different things and dreams and goals that I want to achieve in the future. And I do suffer from imposter syndrome at times. I do doubt myself. I do question myself. I do think, oh no, I can't do that. Those thoughts do come in. That's very human nature. And I think a lot of people do have that experience as well. Like, oh, what if I can't do that? What if I can't lose the weight? What if I can never compete? What if I can never start the business? What if my business doesn't succeed? What if nobody watches my TikToks? What if nobody clicks on my YouTube channel? We all have those thoughts, okay? So understand, like, you're not alone in that. You're not alone in having those thoughts. Everybody has those thoughts, right? And then we can be looking at our life and think like, oh, well, it's just gonna be so difficult for all these things to change. Maybe you're at a very low place in life. Maybe you're not happy with your weight and how you look and how you feel. And maybe you're not happy in the career that you currently have. And it could seem like all these obstacles are in the way, and I completely understand that. I completely get that. Understanding that if we break our goals down, so with actionable steps that we can do daily, that we can do weekly, maybe monthly, that can take us so much further. And another thing is that I have to remind myself is don't be afraid to fail, because we don't really fail. And that's what I learned in my years of starting businesses and going after different dreams and goals. I never can say that, oh, I failed. Maybe that business didn't take off, but it taught me so much. I learned so much that I applied later in my life and I actually got results. So don't look at yourself like, oh, what if I fail? You're not failing. You can never fail. Life is a journey. As we go on in life, we're constantly learning, we're constantly growing. I think people also look at like goals and dreams as like this end point, this end thing. Once I get this thing, then everything's gonna be great. But that's not really how life works. You keep growing, you keep learning more, you keep achieving more. Maybe you feel like you fail more, but guess what? You get more experience. You get better and better and better. And that is one thing that I always tell myself is that I get better and better and better, right? I'm getting older, but I'm getting better with age. I'm learning more. I'm so much better off now than I was when I was 19, 20 years old. I know so much more now. I have so much more knowledge that I can apply into my life, and that I actually get the results that I actually desire for my own self. So a year will pass you by either way. What are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? A year is going to pass by. Tomorrow's going to show up either way. Maybe it's not promised, right? No one can guarantee that. No one can, oh, you'll be here tomorrow. You'll be here in a year from now. But time's going to come. Things are going to pass us by. So what are you doing? Are you going to spend your days questioning, what if it doesn't work out for me? You're going to spend your days questioning, what if it doesn't work out for me? What if I never achieve the things that I want? Or are you going to, hey, you know what? What can I do today that's going to get me one step closer? Because another thing is, yeah, you might be thinking, well, nobody can really guarantee your success. No one can really guarantee that your life can be different in a year from now, and that is completely true. But you know what I've also learned is that you get closer, you get better, you learn more, you have more experience, and then you're not in this state of what if I just would have took those proper steps? Oh, I should have started a year ago. Oh, I would have been further along if I would have started a year ago. So many people think that way because they don't just start taking the action. They don't just start taking the proper steps to go after the things that they want. They constantly say, no, what if it doesn't work out for me? What if I don't achieve? Oh, there's no point. What if I don't? And then a year goes by and then they're thinking, oh, what if I would have just started? I should have just started. I should have just enrolled in the course. I should have just started the LLC. I should have just started the YouTube channel. I should have just started it. And you know what? If you are there, it's okay. Because guess what? You get a brand new chance every single moment. So maybe you're in that phase of, oh, I should have started a year ago. You know what? You can start today. You can start today. Okay? And guess what? You do these because a year's gonna pass us by either way, right? A year will pass you by either way. So there's really no point in saying, oh, I should have started a year ago. Oh, what if I would have started a year ago? It doesn't matter, because guess what? Another year is gonna go by. So what are you doing today to ensure that when this year passes you by, that you're better than you were today, that you're a better version of yourself a year from now than you were today? And maybe in a year from now, you don't achieve the things that you actually wanted or the goals, but you know what? I can guarantee that you're probably going to be closer, much more closer, have much more wisdom, have much more insight and experience to where your life will be different in some way, shape, or form. So I want to talk about how I kind of break up my goals and the action plans that I do to achieve my goals, so that maybe this can help you as well. So break down your goals, right? Get a sheet of paper, get your iPad out, wherever it is that you write out your goals, or maybe you already have these goals written out. And these goals can be relationship, marriage, how, if you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage, maybe you want to work on your marriage, you want to work on your relationships with your family, friends, finances, career, business. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want a raise at your job. Maybe you just want to make more money overall. Maybe you have side work, gigs, all that. Write those goals down. Like, what do you want for your own self? Material things as well. Is there a new car that you want? Is there a home that you want to purchase? Do you want to move in a year from now? Do you want to have a new house? Do you want to have more travel? Like, how does your health look? Also, health and fitness is another important thing that I also consider whenever I'm goal setting. So write those out. Get it out on a sheet of paper. No limits, okay? Go into this with no limits. No limits in, oh, well, maybe I should bring my dream down a little bit more because I don't think I can achieve it in a year. No, okay? I want you to go big. I want you to think big without limits. We're not placing limits on our own self. So what can you achieve if you were truly limitless in achieving your goals, right? We're not looking at circumstances. We're not looking at where you are right now. This is just your big goals. Like, how do you want your life to look like in a year from now? So then you can look at those goals and you can also break them down quarterly. So the next 3 months, what can I do that I feel is going to get me closer to those big goals in a year from now? And then quarter 2, okay, how does my quarter 2? And you might not, if you can do like all your quarters for a year, that's fine. But I usually suggest people do like their 3 months, do your 3 months. What can you achieve within these 3 months? Or what can you do? What proper steps can you do to get you into closer to that goal? And then after those 3 months, so like maybe a few weeks before that 3rd month ends for you, write down your next 3 months. Okay, well, how does this look for me? Because once you start taking these actionable steps, you start to learn things along the way about yourself, and you start to learn how you work. You start to learn how you like to have your day-to-day split up. So that's another thing that really held me back at times, was thinking that I had to have it all figured out, that I had to know exactly what I needed to do 6 months from now in order to get what I wanted. And that's not really true, okay? We start with the end in mind, but then we can also break it down to, okay, well, what can I do during the day, right? So this brings me back to like daily habits. What are your daily non-negotiable habits to achieve these certain dreams and goals? So let's say maybe you want to learn more on finance. You want to learn more on finance. You want to learn how to invest. You want to get into real estate, whatever it is. You want to get more into investing, into the stock market. And maybe you don't know anything about the stock market. Well, what can you do in your day-to-day life, or even in your week, in a week? What can you do that's going to get you closer to that goal, to be a finance expert, to know how to invest, to know how to put your money into the stock market? Well, maybe I can look up YouTube videos. Maybe I can study 1 hour every single night, watch people, learn from them, learn from the finance gurus, learn how they work. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can read 15 minutes from a finance book every single day. That's going to get me closer. That's going to help me learn more. And that's how you do that. That's how you break it down. Okay, I want this big thing. What can I do daily? And having those non-negotiables as well. 15 minutes, reading 15 minutes. Or maybe you are working on your fitness. You have a fitness goal. Okay, well, what can I do? I want to lose 100 pounds, or, whatever it is that you want. Or I want to just build more muscle. I want to be strong. Maybe I want to go into competing. Maybe I want to start a fitness YouTube channel or TikTok, whatever. Well, what can I do every single day? Well, every single day I can make sure that I hit my water goal. Every single day I can make sure that I hit my protein goal. What are my protein goal, right? And breaking those down as well. What are my goals within kind of my goal, in a sense? What are my goals within, what are the small goals within kind of that big goal? And a thing that really helps me here is asking myself, okay, well, in a year from now, let's say I do achieve the things that I want, right? Because we wrote down our goals, we wrote down the things that we want for our own selves. So in a year from now, who is that version of me? What do they do on their day-to-day? How does their day-to-day look? Most of the goals, most of the habits that you start doing in your day-to-day life, that version of you that already has that success is doing those things. And because learning never stops. So even if you have like a career goal or like a business goal, your business is, if you're someone that's starting a business, like that's your baby. That's gonna be your baby. You're gonna always want to learn and grow. You're gonna always be studying. You're always gonna be researching, market researching, seeing what trends are active during the time, seeing what type of content people want to hear, reaching out to clients and customers. That's never going to stop. So a lot of the things that version of you is doing in their day-to-day life, you start doing it in your daily habits. And then over time, it becomes who you are. The new habits that we achieve become like second nature. We don't even think about it. It's just like brushing your teeth every day, right? We've been brushing our teeth for years and years and years. I hope so. We don't even really think about it. We just wake up in the morning, we go brush our teeth, we shower, we eat breakfast. A lot of our habits that we have in our day-to-day life, we don't even realize that we have them because they are just so ingrained in us. And that is how the habits for the dreams that you actually want to achieve get ingrained into you as well. The more that you do it, the more that you take the proper steps, the more that you study, the more that you make a checklist. Oh, okay, how to start an LLC. Check, 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 mark this. That's what I need to do. The more that you do that, and you learn. And then now you have your business. Okay, how do I start a website? Okay, now I know how to start a website. Now I know how to add products to my website. Now I know how to market. Okay, how do I market? Let me Google it. Let me YouTube it. Let me search. Let me research this. Okay, now I learned how to market. So a lot of the things that you have to do or that you start doing in your day-to-day habits, in your weekly habits, monthly habits, however you want to break it down, because that's another thing. It's really up to you to how to break it down. And you start to learn too. Maybe you start doing something and it doesn't work out for you and it's not what you resonate with. You can change it. It's okay. Just change it, adjust, and then you just keep going. And looking at life as like, what can I do in the next 24 hours? Because maybe maybe it's hard to see in a year from now, right? Yeah, have your goal in mind, your big goal, but maybe it's hard for you to see that. Well, what can you do in the next 24 hours? And also having that mindset of like, okay, well, that version of me that achieved those things already, that version of me that already is living their dreams, what would they be doing today? What would they be doing in the next 24 hours to accomplish those goals? As we come to the end of this video, the conclusion of it all is how I achieved a lot of the dreams and goals in my own life is I took on the identity of that version of me that already had the success. And I realized that version of me that already had the success, had the knowledge, had the skills. So I just started implementing that into my everyday life. And I'm currently doing it with the other things in my life as well, because honestly, it just never stops. Like, we always want to get better. We always want to grow. We always want to do more. At least for me, that's just how I've always been. I've always been just someone that just wants more, wants to do more, wants to learn more, wants to achieve more. and this video found you, maybe because you're the same way. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.